After being attacked at TwitchCon, Emiru has since made some horrifying accusations against MICFC. And I want to say it first. This fork was discovered in the kitchen. There's actually a ton of underscore to discuss. I want to start by stating that this tweet is factual. It's not exactly my community, but it seems like the internet, collective consciousness, and mainstream media have a problem with allowing degenerate white men to keep positions of power for an unbearably long period of time, and even supporting them when they are cartoonishly terrible. Being accused of hiding SA is abnormal. I'm not sure how we dealt with Mizkif after that. Power is one of the items that are usually discovered at the crime site of a cover-up essay. What does Mizkif possess? Much power. So why is a powerful white man accused of writing an essay and covering it up when he has a well-documented history of strange behavior? But I'm going to stop yapping. I am Socrates Hood. As you are already aware, let's get going. First, we had the opportunity to examine Emiru's claims.
Is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably gonna come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet.
The most significant feature of this video, in my opinion, is how sociopathic, or since I'm not a trained professional, I'll just say crazy someone's threat of a smear campaign reveals a lot about their character. And trying to use the internet's vitriol to promote animal abuse is just so manipulative. The fact that Emmy is being so direct about Mizkif's approach to handling the situation makes this clip, in my opinion, almost like a trap. And that idiot really follows her instructions exactly, as you'll see later. You simply need to consider Mizkif's character, and his public relations isn't really strong. I almost always hear bad things about him. It is therefore quite disgusting to learn that he is prepared to launch a slander campaign on a purported victim. And that does raise the question, how did we get to this point of streaming? I've been looking at social media with such fond eyes for a long time, but it's evolved into a mirror of the music industry, which is a place where corruption and abuse are common. This is an uncomfortable truth that has been difficult for me to accept lately. Boss discusses something in more detail in another video.
So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying, and he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, and instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or
However, this underscore is crazy. In other words, Mizkif essentially tries to use an emotional low moment as a reason to have sex with Emmy. He doesn't even apologize when she rejects him. Instead, he just bounces. Keep in mind that Emmy claims in the video that they weren't together, and that she doesn't feel comfortable being touched by strangers. This guy simply crosses her boundaries as an ex-boyfriend or someone who isn't even her partner while she's feeling vulnerable and depressed. I just wanted to let you know that this is the playbook for odd guys. It's extremely sickening because they catch you when you're weak. Mizkif moved after spotting Emiru's vulnerability. Fortunately, he simply bounced. But that's all for show.
I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream, and not in a oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or having my stream open. He would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, watching my stream and just saying horrible things. almost every time that I've been live this year. And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then they told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me.
This guy seemed to have an unusual infatuation with her. And I think this is a sign of living in the 21st century because, what do you mean? Crazy white guys are watching streams of their ex-girlfriends and worrying about whether or not these same ex-girlfriends are having affairs. I find it strange since, first of all, he was blowing up her phone. She had a ton of messages displayed. There was no doubt that this man was tripping. However, it goes beyond that. I saw videos of him being insecure about his view count in real life. I believe that a large portion of what happened was probably him reflecting his own low self-esteem. He most likely associated his value with how well he performed on social media, particularly Twitch, and Amir threatened that in his thoughts. He thus began to strike out in this manner. That's my guess. Anyway, and it's not even the end of the video. We still have much to sort through.
My walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. At the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, no, like, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about...
Yes. Thus, it is obvious that this underscores mentally ill. As previously said, I firmly believe that his value is correlated with his social media performance and his standing in the social hierarchy. In addition, he is acting violently and pounding walls. Then he made a threat to go out with Emmy. Don't unlay May underscore since this is the last form of payment. This is like insane behavior. He's upset that he wasn't featured in a Mr. Beast video. It simply seems like something Misk would do. A wealthy white streamer from the pod community. That is essentially the combo of dread.
Throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah.
The problem with this black eye video is that there was a 2023 Twitter thread that examined Emmy and MSC's relationship. They even brought up the black eye, and they were trying to figure out how she got it. Additionally, I'm rather certain that Emmy made up an excuse, such as I ran into a wall, which is obviously not good. People delved a little deeper as a result. Interestingly, they also shared a video showing how rough Misk was with Emiru. I wanted to conclude this part with this clip, but that's just some food for thought.
And I also wanted to say that I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today, and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about. And yeah, there's more things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it. And I can be like, okay, I got it out there. I'm not withholding this anymore.
Her statement that getting sued is a serious possibility only serves to prove to me that Misk is most likely a controlling and manipulative individual. If he was genuinely innocent, he would appear on the internet with some genuineness rather than a carefully crafted or premeditated response, just unrestrained sincerity. Let's examine his remarks.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in. These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible, and my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you."
Aside from the obvious fact that he is reading from a script, and even dared to mention his brother's assessment of Emiru, he did just what she had predicted. In response, he tries to discredit her for mistreating rabbits. He also displayed a picture of a filthy rabbit cage, but I don't want to display that. Furthermore, I'm not sure how this disproves any of Emiru's assertions. And allow me to pose a query. When you're in a blatantly abusive or poisonous relationship, how do you care for animals? This man is incredibly foolish.
And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this point, man. The last 9 months of this relationship, things got
In addition to being violent and prone to juvenile outbursts, he acknowledges that he is controlling, so I'm not sure if I should take what he says seriously. This jerk then begins to scream crocodile tears. This underscore is tripping.
And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong, or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then.
And I regret not apologizing at the time. Did he just rush through the explanation of the essay? He made no mention of Emmy's tears. He tried to claim that Emiru wanted to go on to the next phase without mentioning how they weren't together. This is a dead ass. One of the worst reactions to accusations I've seen in a long time. And you know what's absurd? I want to present you all a big section of supplementary information. However, I don't really feel like I have to. In any case, I will do it. But this is a terrible response.
I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
He attempts to avoid that jackass underscore, as if it weren't so stupid that I'm just going to cut the clip here. This underscore compared punching holes in the wall to plush toys. Nothing else needs to be said. What is a plush toy doing in comparison to an adult guy whose lack of spectators is driving him insane? In fact, Misk sounds crazy. That seems like the kind of scary crackhead energy you'd find on the streets. Dude, and he's attempting to liken that to a shorty hurling some stuffed animals. This video didn't even need to be made by me. In this case, it's obvious who is wicked. It's literally like approaching a menacing figure wearing a hood. Misk is a bad person.
I am going to stand up for myself. I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away.
You're done. Mischief. Dude, it's over, guy. Even though they're talking about not going anywhere. Now, I wasn't going to put up with any more of that nonsense because, in all honesty, he starts talking about going to scorched earth, leaking messages, and exposing everything, because I'm going to hit the nail on the head. The average copium underscore like him must inhale after being revealed. I'm going to demonstrate to you all that Misk is essentially a demon disguised as a human.
Are you going to send Maya and Mitch to railroad and blackmail me like you did those girls to cover up those... You want to come at me and make up, then you better be sure you don't live in a glass house, you insecure... I'm lost.
I don't even... Holy... Are you going to send Maya and Mitch to railroad and blackmail like, dude, all those girls cover up this...
Wait, what does it mean to railroad?
Then you better be sure you don't live in a glass house, you insecure...
I literally just read it. What does it mean to railroad him?
A little background information. Meski was accused of hiding essay a few years ago. I believe in 2022, and this is how Pokey and Hassan responded to it. Although I wasn't fully informed at the time, I do recall that there being strong evidence that implied he had covered it up. but that's just my perspective. Furthermore, it's highly plausible that he was hiding the essay given all that has since come to light. He's acting sneaky. He is prepared to frighten his own ex-partner into silence by using slander campaigns. It appears to be something he does. Why do these streamers move in a Joker-like manner? They are merely streamers. To be honest, what exactly is Mizkif famous for? He simply satisfies the stereotype of the strange white guy, simply slimy and malevolent. I don't understand. Additionally, he shared a brief video concerning Ledwig's mental health and how his reputation was ruined by Ledwig covering the story of his purported essay cover-up.
September 2022, I was accused of covering up by Trainwreck TV. This resulted in the biggest drama that has ever happened in the history of Twitch, where dozens of the top content creators attacked me for weeks, saying that I covered up and I deserved to be banned. Ludwig was one of those content creators who made a video titled "Twitch is Collapsing" with over 3 million views. This video told people that I was the only one involved in this whole thing, and I orchestrated basically a cover-up. This resulted in me losing so many of my fans, torpedoed my career, destroyed my mental health to something that I don't know if ever will come back, and has ruined my life and almost everyone I know around me.
Let me now demonstrate the stupidity of this video.
I've seen a lot of, I'm gonna keep the bug right now, right? I've seen a lot of people on the list that when I seen the list, I say, I'm not jacking them. I'm personally here saying, right now, I don't get, niggas know I don't care, bro. Mizkif tries to censor the door, he's not getting inside. No, we do not fuck with weird people. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. He's gonna see this clip. I don't care.
This is a video of Silky before 2M's release, and here he is adamantly refusing to let Mizkif enter his crib. Keep in mind that this is a pretty broad assertion. He doesn't elaborate. He's simply saying Mizkif is weird, and this underscore is not getting in my crib. What is the sound of that? That reminds me of Diddy. You only need to allow me to explain. When I say it sounds like Diddy, I'm referring to the way people make cryptic remarks about specific celebrities without going into further detail. Diddy likes to party and you got to tell him no was the first statement. It is now. If Mizkif tries to enter the door, he's not getting inside. What is meant by such statements? But these underscore never go into detail. They simply make these broad, obviously menacing remarks and carry on with their day. Additionally, it seems to me that you are doing something incorrectly if underscore is talking about you in that way. No one will convince me otherwise.
Hey mods, can you do me a huge fucking favor? Can you start banning literally anybody that ever tells me that I'm being mean to her? I mean, can you give a disclaimer?
It's not being mean.
In this video, a clearly agitated Mizkif orders his moderators to remove anyone who challenges his treatment of Ru. It seemed as if the books were self-written and the secret was public knowledge. For this reason, a 2023 thread examining their relationship exists. It was easily visible.
She said no.
Maya unimpressed. That's what that was.
2 Starbucks bags of Starbucks I got you over the past few days.
Oh my god.
Skip, that was
Throw
not
it back.
funny.
Throw it
Yeah,
back.
there better be.
Anyway, there's something about being trapped in a car with an angry aggro man that is like the absolute most helpless thing. Dude, I did a guy that would go like 100 miles an hour on the, like we would fight in the car, which was never my decision. Like it just always like happened. Like we just would like fight in the car and then he'd go like 100 and I would like literally like beg him to slow down. I'd be so scared and I'd cry and then he would not slow down until I apologized.
Whoa.
So then I started driving only. Like I wouldn't let him drive me anywhere. But then if we'd get in a fight while I was driving, he would like pound my ceiling in my glove box.
Ooh,
He would like
that's scary.
scream and like hit the ceiling and like hit the glove box and just like scream profound.
The first reason this video is so bizarre is that Mizkif violently tosses 2 paper bags at his ex-girlfriend Maya. Later, in a podcast, Maya describes how she was stuck in a car with an enraged ex who would drive at 100 miles per hour. From whom have we heard this? Kuko, another streamer, then describes how she had sex with Miss while she was so inebriated that she couldn't keep her eyes open. She had to let him go because she was too lightheaded to give a damn. My goodness. And this underscore is just absurd. Yeah, this underscore is weird, and we ain't messed with him for a while. OTK had to admit, I find it quite difficult to accept that he did not conceal the essay after seeing all of this. He seems to be rather familiar with it. If anything, I also find it difficult to accept that he wasn't the antagonist in his relationship with Ru. Mizkif is most likely not human, in my opinion. In fact, he appears to be really nasty. However, I won't reveal anything more. That should be all I had to say. That was all I had to say. To receive more unsolicited opinions, subscribe. Have a good day, everyone. I am going to leave this place. Farewell.